I'm telling you, sometimes there's just not enough toilet paper in the entire galaxy.
And then I says to her, Mabel,
it's like wiping a felt tip marker.
Oh, God. I quit. I'm out. I can't even.
Well, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. Anyway, hi YouTube. If you're watching this, it means that I found this not horrendous to post. This is going to be a Klingon one-shot featuring the lovely individuals you see present. And I just have a few things to say to you because you haven't been on stream for the past hour, so you don't know what's going on. So this is part of my Birthday Subathon stream. This one-shot is probably going to feature us, or mostly me, breaking at people gifting subs, bit donations, whatever. So if I break, you know why. You also know that if Gowron continually talks about glory to houses, you know that's why. But also do know that we will be definitely a comedy game. We're still going to be playing Star Trek Adventures and a Klingon-themed one. But it's pretty clear that from the start it's going to be comedy. So if you're expecting like hardcore seriousness, this isn't the one-shot for you.
What do you mean, comedy? I speak of honor. I speak of glory and death in battle.
You still sound sick. Do you still have that thing?
Yes, but I am getting over it. My white blood cells are brave warriors. They shall fight the flu.
No, listen to me. 6 feet, social distance. I've told you before.
Distance, my butler.
Oh my lord. All right, well, YouTube, there's your warning that stuff's going to happen. But let's have the players introduce themselves, and then we'll get this masterpiece started. So why don't we start with you, Aaron?
Yeah, hey guys. I'm Aaron. I'm playing Captain Cord, son of Borch. He is a semi-recurring background character from way back in Star Trek October. Formerly captain of a solid and liquid humanoid waste scow, and now the proud owner of a, well, I wouldn't even say gently used, I would say very used Vorcha class cruiser.
Was it my turn?
Yep.
I just was waiting for Aaron to stop talking, so just went on and on like he does. Anyway, hi everybody. My name is Darewolf, DareWolf88 on Twitter and Twitch, and I am playing a Klingon First Officer by the name of Taga Grilla, son of Kinundaka, and my job is to maybe kill the captain and become the captain myself. But we'll see if he has enough honor to maintain his position.
Last but not least, Mr. Shizno.
I am Shizno, and I will be playing a fun Gorn named Satur Day. He is Clutchborn of Day, of House of Day. And he's very particular about who he lets into his kitchen.
I'm sure that's not going to come up at all. No, definitely not. Nope. Oh, Lord. All right, well, let's get started. And I am going to play a little bit of music, so do let me know, chat, if this is too loud or too soft. But Mr. Cord, Mr. Captain Cord, I believe you have a little bit of an opening log for us.
Boy,
I hope you do.
I'm a negligent captain. Let's see if I can wing it. Battle log. Stardate. Whatever. Due to my honorable actions at the Ragesh 3 sewage treatment plant fiasco, I have been promoted. A Vorcha class attack cruiser, the IKS Keed, has now been honorably transferred to my command. With this new mighty weapons platform, I am one step closer to regaining the honor of the House of Borch and proving myself worthy of my Parmakai. But I am troubled. There Seems to be virtually nobody aboard this ship, and while I'm confident in my ability to run a vessel short-handed, the bridge does feel a little lonely. But I shall persevere. Our...
Nope, nothing. Nothing. I already fixed that.
I don't know why he's yelling about that, but... I'm en route to the Mokchu shipyards, where my new ship awaits. And once again, my job is to take out the garbage. This time, Tholian garbage in the Versa system. Those Patak are in for quite a surprise when I send them to the burning dips of Greythor and then clean up the little bits that I blow them into. End log.
Very nice. And you may, of course, have momentum. Oh, God, I didn't even set up the momentum deck. Well, let me do that as I fail as a game master, apparently. Good job, me.
I just said your personal logs are weak in Klingon.
There you go. Close enough. We'll take it. But yeah.
Your pronunciation is horrible.
Just like your house and its lack of honor.
Oh. Think he's got you there. I just...
Well, what does that say about you? They made you serve under me.
To ensure that you did your job correctly, they have more faith in me as first officer than you as captain.
You're grounded. Go to your room.
You are not my father.
Touché.
You're not my real dad. Ah!
This isn't over.
No, it is just begun.
All right, so now you guys should have access to momentum deck. So to set the scene to start things off, so we sort of see a red gas giant, almost like if you were to take Mars and make it Jupiter-sized and made out of gas. Same kind of principle, where it's just swirls of dark red, a little bit of ice, sort of whites towards the poles, and next to the planet, or in orbit of the planet. Oh, you guys also got a momentum from chat. But in orbit of the planet, what we see is, to be charitable, a shipyard. To be a little bit more blunt, we see a junkyard. And we see Captain Cord's garbage scow sort of moving in from the left side of the screen as it angles in and moves towards a Vorcha-class cruiser that is being held in one of the berths. Now, for those who don't know what a Vorcha class is, it's basically a letter T with nacelles on it. And it's one of, or I should say was, one of the main workhorses of the Klingon fleet. Unfortunately, they sort of went out of production about 40 years ago and have been replaced by many things besides. So, as the captain did say, this is a ship definitely that has seen some years. The equivalent would be taking a Miranda class into STO. It's old. But as Cord, as you sort of fly in towards the station, you actually get a hail from the station chief.
And sitting on the bridge, Cord will go, a transmission on screen. And he'll say it to nobody and press the button on his chair to bring it up.
Nice. So appearing on screen is actually a cornet, a red-skinned demon woman who may or may not look like what you're seeing on screen right now. But she just kind of looks at you, arms crossed, and says, "Well, Mr. Cord, you're 3 hours late."
Captain Cord.
No, I only call captains captain when they're on time.
You would put a timetable on honor? We had a waste delivery.
And if you were better at your job, you would have timed that better.
How dare you? You... All right, fine, I'm here.
She chuckles at that and says, "All right, well, I do have good news. I do have Mr. Grilla. He's in the wings waiting for you. I also have a Mr. Day. He is also ready. But the rest of the crew that you requested, Klingon High Command basically said no, so it's just going to be you three on ship." But I mean, you're the great Captain Cord. Surely that's not going to be a problem.
Not at all. This is going to be a serious problem.
Well, you may board your ship at any time. I've already transferred command codes based on what I've already salvaged from your garbage scow's vehicle. Though I do have one question. What do you plan on doing with the scow once you've switched ships?
I will do what I've done with every ship under my command that I've left. I leave it in the same state that I found it in. There's a natural equilibrium to the universe in that sense, so I plan to autopilot it into the sun.
I mean, I guess you could do that. That is. Wait, you found it like that?
Yes, in the photosphere of a main series star.
Oh. Okay, you know what?
The smell was horrible.
How?
They tell you that vapors and odors can't travel through the vacuum of space, but they're wrong.
All right, you know what? I'm just going to end this transmission before I lose any more brain cells. Station out. View screen goes dark.
I had a nickel for every time somebody said that to me. Wait, what's a nickel?
All right, so we're going to skip ahead just a little bit. With Cord, would you beam on, or would you actually like dock and go through like the station and the umbilical, or would you just beam over?
Just beam straight to the bridge.
Beam straight. All right. So when you beam over to the bridge, what you see is the typical Klingon affair, where it's got that center chair on a raised dais. You have bars that are almost like roll cages that are stationed throughout the bridge. There's very uncomfortable, like no cushioned seats next to consoles, and waiting for you are Grilla and Day, just sort of maybe conversing with each other as you beam in. So why don't you two take it away, and then Cord can come in at a dramatically appropriate moment.
What position of honor do you hold on the ship?
I am the chef. I prepare your meals.
Ah, we shall be great friends and colleagues in gastrointestinal battle. Good. How did you get this job?
I used to cook for the Emperor, but unfortunately his aide stepped into the kitchen and I fed him to the Emperor.
Wait, what?
Don't step into my kitchen.
Personal log, Cord. The green lizard is very creepy. And log. Very well. Your kitchen shall be your domain, just as the tactical helm officer place shall be mine.
Good.
And
Yes.
then you guys will hear a calm,
Captain to bridge.
Boop, boop. This is the first officer.
Commander. Please have our site-to-site transporters checked. I seem to have beamed into some kind of kitchen. And I have not washed my hands.
Captain, advise you exit kitchen as quickly as possible.
Well, while I'm here, I might as well grab something to eat before I come to the bridge.
Captain, this is a life or death situation. Exit the kitchen now.
I cannot sustain the bloodlust long any longer.
Oh, very well. Oh, thorns. Am I right?
Looking over at Day, Tog will say, "Oh, a transporter accident. The captain ended up in the shuttle bay. He shall be here shortly."
Day is going to move really close to you, and then he's going to slowly stand up, and he's going to reveal his true height is 9 feet as he looks down, and he just opens his mouth.
Don't let it happen again.
As he just
Personal log. The lizard is taller than first thought. Also, even more scary now. And log. Yes, I will make note of that, Master Chef.
Good.
Slowly leaning back, ever so slightly.
He squats back down and starts paying his targ.
My mother warned me about this. All right, and we will wait for the captain to get up here.
Doesn't take too long. The captain just sort of strides onto the bridge and just like,
Ugh. What is that? Is that a targ?
Yes, Captain. The cook has a targ.
I see.
He is my emotional support targ. Without him, I would slaughter every one of you.
Very good. Most honorable. Tell me, which one of you is the Master Chief I ordered?
I am the Master Chef.
Master Chef?
and he pulls a pad out and
Damn you, autocorrect. Well, engineering, though. Who's... Master Chef, can you do engineering things in engineering?
I have sufficient knowledge in food, construction, and engineering for taste.
Excellent. Then, in addition to your duties as Master Chef of this honorable vessel, I hereby promote you to Chief Engineer. Chief, Tasteneer, if you prefer.
Wicham Jotlata!
Gesundheit.
Yes, I'm sorry to hear about your mother. Very good.
His mother.
Well, didn't he just say that his mother was like spotted or something?
I see, Captain, you have not spoken our home language in quite some time. I have. I just haven't spoken it that badly. I will remember this, Captain.
I just imagine Wolf actually has like a list of Klingon sayings, and he's going to go through each and every one, and we're not going to know what it means, and I love it.
And you'd be right. Hey!
I appreciate the effort. I really do. Oh, my Lord. All right. So, as you all get situated at your consoles and you begin to get the ship ready to leave, Station chimes in and says, well, your joke of a ship is ready to leave at your command. Simply give the signal and we'll release the umbilical. You are receiving us, right? You...
Captain, incoming transmission. Shall I put it through?
Station, yes, this is the IKS Kid. You may release umbilical at your convenience.
And you don't get a reply, but you do feel throughout the ship a sort of slight jostle as the umbilical detaches and begins to retract into the rest of the cradle there.
We're now free to roam the small sector that they've assigned us to and do the thing that they said that we should be doing while we're there.
With honor, Captain.
Yes, with that. Set a course for wherever we're supposed to be and engage at Warp Cha.
Warp Cha, Captain. Engaging. Boop, 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 boop.
All right, first roll of the game. This is going to go poorly. And I'm going to warn you now, I'm deliberately going to be overcomplicating things because I think failure is funny. So you do have 3 momentum right now, just so you know, but this is going to be a control and a con. The difficulty will be 4, and either Cord can assist with a control or presence plus command, or your ship can assist you with an engines and con.
Cord's gonna assist with presence command so that I can use my advisor.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend 3 momentum because I don't want to blow the ship up in the first 30 minutes.
Well, the good news is that there's already a complication from chat, so that's happening even if you succeed.
God bless you, Catch. You said it was control and con?
And con. Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
I know your power stat.
Control and con.
Now you got an assist from Cord.
And I'm gonna call upon survival because I don't want to die.
Okay.
That's gonna be my focus.
It's gonna be your focus. All right.
Yep.
Let it happen.
We're gonna go with that. And we say yes.
And that is actually 5 successes. Very nice.
Captain, the ship is old, but I am very familiar with the systems. Quite simple. Boop, 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 boop. Engaging warp. Boop.
And I'd actually like to say that as you leave the cradle behind, you don't scrape the paint, you don't knock any dingle arms, you just sort of ease on out, and then you angle off to the left side of the screen, and then you jump to warp cha. But what I'd like to say is that everything seems to be fine for like the first 3 minutes after you've jumped to warp. But here's the complication, is that the ship begins to vibrate. And I don't mean like a phone buzzing in your pocket vibrate. I mean like almost borderline earthquake vibrate. And the worst part, and Day, I'm going to let you flavor this, your emotional support targ is not a fan of the shaking.
It's been too long since I've been on a warship. I forgot how they shake.
Saturday just looks down at his targ and he looks up to everyone. He's like, this is not good. He is going to soil himself on the bridge.
Don't worry, I came prepared.
And Cord's got like next to his command chair is like a bucket of cleaning supplies, because just to remind him where he came from.
Good. You're in charge of taking care of him.
What's that? I don't even like targs.
You have the supplies.
Reela's gonna look over at the captain and just be like,
Fine.
Good. I will go make us some food.
I think Day exits to the kitchen, if I understand.
Yes, I'm going to use the perk that I have as a chef to have a meal with everyone.
Why don't you enlighten the class, and what does that actually mean?
I forgot.
Nice. We got primo content here, people. We forgot. Nice.
I believe if we can have the meal, we roll dice, and on effects, we get momentum. But if we have blood wine, we get more. But you also get threat as well.
Sounds right.
We're going to have blood wine, of course.
I mean, you have to have blood wine.
We're Klingons.
What's the point without it?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's get hamboed.
Nice. All right, I actually have the page here in a moment. Ship's cook. No, it wouldn't be on that page, because why would it be on that page? That would mean, it actually made sense. Because why would anything ever be on the right page? No, I don't want my value. I don't want talents. I just want to know what the ship's cook does. There it is. All right, ship's cook. Once per adventure, before a new scene begins, the ship's cook may declare a short scene of the crew eating a meal together. At the end of the scene, instead of reducing the group's momentum pool by 1, roll 1 challenge die and add the total to the group's momentum pool. If the commanding officer allows, the meal may introduce blood wine. In this case, roll 3 challenge dice instead of 1, but add 1 to threat for each effect rolled as the crew gets a little drunk. So let's actually play that scene out with you all still vibrating, but you're in the mess hall, quote unquote. And when I say mess hall, I don't just mean, it's a place for you. I mean, it's actually a mess. There are just beams that have fallen from scaffoldings and from the walls. There's exposed ODN conduits, those sort of fiber conduit things that we see, just sitting out of walls because that's where they live, apparently. There's the smell of what might have been meat at one point, but now is very heavily expired. And to top it all off, there is a corpse of what looks to be at one point it might have been a targ, but you're kind of scared to poke it and find out.
I didn't think they'd take it so literally. Mess hall. Really makes you think.
Decision of language, Captain. Very important.
Very much so, Honorable First Officer. Very much. What exactly is this, Master Chef?
It is Tarkalian Peking duck. It is stuffed with ga, fresh from my personal supply. And I have brought you wine of blood from 2270.
2270? That's very old.
No, that is the number of the assistant I trained it from.
That's very fresh. Good.
Yes.
Fresh wine with fresh gok. I love it.
Gesundheit.
About 1,400 hours.
After this, Wolf, I just want you to send me that document. When you're done, just send me that document. I'll probably go back through and I'll add like subtitles to be like, he actually means this.
I will.
Saturday leans down and pets his targ.
Good labor. Good.
I'm also doing a bit of live translation too, so I've got a Klingon translator up. I'm ready to go. So We'll go back through. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Anyway, the wine is actually quite. One moment, my duck's getting away.
We see a duck that has tentacles for eyes just begin scurrying off.
Oh, no, you don't.
The goth is very fresh.
Yeah, and that's the best part is that the duck, and this is going to be a little Lovecraftian, but if you'll imagine, like, coming out of the duck's mouth as it's, like, quacking is, like, actual God just railing around in there, which for Klingon is actually very fresh, and they love it, but for everybody else, you're just like, what the hell?
Thought you got away from me.
Well, actually, we're going to make a roll of it because it's funny. Are you going to be literally, like, hands-on catching it? Are you going to be shooting it?
I'm going to try to wrangle this like goth-infused Peking duck.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, and this is going to be a fitness and a security. I'm going to make the difficulty a 4 because it's funny.
Right. And I'm not going to spend any momentum because I also think it's funny.
Okay, fair enough. And before 2 critical successes, that would be amazing. All right, only the 1. So what's going to happen is, Captain Cord, you go diving for the Peking duck that is ducking for cover. Thank you for that, chat. As you miss the waterfowl, it actually hops up onto your head and relieves itself, and then goes scurrying down your back to begin quacking at the first officer.
If I could make a brief addendum to that.
Sure.
All that, fine, with the relieving, although I don't know how a cooked duck... Is the duck cooked? Or is it like a live duck?
No, it's
that's a horrible... What a horrible fate for that poor animal. Jesus. The duck, though, it's going to get into the air vents.
Ah. So we see it jumping from beam to beam, fallen beam, and it just jumps up into a Jeffries tube, or the Klingon equivalent thereof, and disappears into the depths of the ship.
The first officer will be lunging for it with his Dikatag dagger, and will also be shouting "Balak, Hiplak, Iklaka," and we'll be stabbing at it, but then we'll just scrape along the vent. Damn it!
I think the captain will also like sort of get up and try, and in like maybe like a clumsy moment, he gets like a duck tog in the back of the hand, not causing any real damage, obviously, but just for comedic effect. Maybe 1 point of stress, or whatever you feel like. But as he gets stabbed, he's, oh, my hand! I'm not supposed to get duck tog in it.
Oh, it was a lizard. Scurries away.
And he says,
That took me 5 minutes to shove it full of gah. What a waste.
Well, I was really more thirsty than hungry anyway.
Cord ambles back over to the table, just stands and starts in on the blood wine.
Saturday is gonna sit down next to the first officer, and instead of reaching down to pet Labor, his pet Targ, he's just gonna start petting the first officer.
Nice.
Um.
Yeah, say, how do you feel about that?
How I feel about that is wa ma gu vatmad ja tilaktig.
Oh, yeah, you said it.
Saturday's just gonna look at him.
Soon.
I don't know why, but I just imagine that translates to "where's the library," and you're just like, "soon." You're just like, "Okay, sure."
I just realized I have captain things to do far away from here.
And I first of other things to do with the captain far away from here. Come, Captain, lead on this honorable expedition for the things we must complete.
Right. That's an excellent first meal, Master Chef. I look forward to finally being able to sample some cuisine, perhaps next time.
We have learned much from the ancient chef Ramsay.
Sometimes the old-fashioned ways are the best, aren't they?
I'm already out of the room.
Yeah.
Basically run.
Cord's leaving. He's like, and I'm temporarily rescinding my own order. No food and drink on the bridge, and I'm going to just bring my drink to the bridge.
Nice. All right, well, part of the chef benefit, go ahead and give me 3 challenge die. Let's see how much momentum you got.
Shiz no.
3, let's see.
All right, so you do get 3 momentum, but I also get 2 threat, which I'm going to immediately spend to make the complication that as you arrive at the bridge, you find that your chair is gone. I mean, literally, the pedestal it's on is still there, but your chair is gone. And then moments later, the first officer walks in and also sees that the captain's chair is gone.
I could have sworn I had a chair.
No, Captain, there was no chair. A true captain stands with honor and leads while standing. You would know this.
No, I'm pretty certain I had a chair. I distinctly remember sitting down.
No, Captain, there was no chair.
And I think, Cord's going to try to use the ship's internal sensors to find his chair.
There you go. Go ahead and roll me. Go ahead and roll me a, let's call this a reason, and we'll call it a science here, reason and science. The ship will assist you with a sensor science.
I'm going to spend a point of momentum.
Yep. Difficulty on this is going to be a 3.
Let's see. Yeah.
I would like to assist.
How?
But I also don't think.
Well, it doesn't matter because those are 0 successes.
Hold on. I want to roll for this because I'm actually going to be counter assisting. So I'm going to make it worse. So if I roll, I want to roll a complication. That's what I want to have happen.
All right, go ahead and try and roll your complication.
I just want to roll. I want to see if I get a complication.
Then if you're being counterproductive against me, then I say for every success you get, the GM should get a point of threat.
I like it. Yes, that's what we're going with. Yeah. What am I rolling?
Still reason science.
reason. Oh, those are my best stats too. 1d20. I would say team dynamics as
Would
well.
apply. Yep.
1 success. Boom.
There you go. Point
There
of
you go, so I
threat.
get a threat.
The GM.
So,
as stated, there is no chair.
Cord, when you look at the readout, yeah, there is no chair. In fact, you look at the ship's logs, there was never a chair installed at all, ever. In the history of the vessel, no chair for the captain.
You hear some suspicious deleting sounds from Taga's console.
Well, it's very interesting. And I suppose I'll just have to stand.
And Cord will just stand and put his fists on his hips and try to just
Well, here's my
gonna
question.
pull
What are
up
you
his
doing with
own
your
chair.
drink?
I'm gonna pull up his
Oh.
chair and sit down.
yeah, I'm just gonna have it it is just adopt a kind of a posture that somebody who doesn't know the way that society people actually stand with their things. This is the way they think that they do it. So he'll be breathing his Klingon blood wine, swirling it.
Love it. All right, so I would say that the next few hours pass pretty uneventfully, aside from the shaking getting a little bit worse. But I would say about 2-3 hours out at your current speed, you actually begin getting a transmission from the sector that you have been assigned to. It's audio only, unfortunately.
Oh,
Captain, we are receiving a transmission, audio only.
rude. Put it through.
And at first, you hear what is essentially a stream of binary, which does not translate at all. It's just a bunch of dots and beeps and machine language, as it were.
Honorable First Officer, can you attempt to decode any sensical information in this?
No, Captain.
Well, close the channel. Let's forget about it.
Very good, Captain.
5 minutes pass. You get another hail from the sector. Still binary. Different, a little bit different, but still binary.
You know, have you ever noticed that sometimes you just get these strange calls and there'll just be weird noises on the other end, or somebody will ask you to do a survey? I
No,
hate
Captain.
those. You're a most fortunate individual. Close the channel.
Yes, Captain.
Saturday walks onto the bridge. He's actually in uniform now. It's a little chef's hat and an apron. That's it.
Honorable Master Chef, welcome back to the bridge.
Thank you.
5 minutes pass. You get a hail again.
Oh boy.
Of course.
What?
And you hear what sounds to be a distressed human female, and the other one says, "Oh, thank the Lord, it finally went through. You're the Klingon ship, Kid?
Keed.
Okay, sure. When are you gonna be here?
None of your business.
But no, it kind of is, because you're the one that's being sent to clean up the Tholian mess, right?
That's right.
We're running into a little bit of emergency here. The sooner you can get here, the better.
All right.
It's a matter of
who
life
is
and
this?
death.
Who is this?
This is Bethany. Bethany Marlowe's. I'm the head of the colony here on Divina 3.
Wait, did they send us to protect a human colony?
No, we have Klingons here too, but they're
What, they can't fight?
Well, that's kind of the thing. They're kind of really old, and they can't even lift a Dick-Tog dagger anymore. This is a nursing home.
Full spread, maximum yield, Captain. The torpedoes are armed.
I have heard of this. I have heard of old homes for ancient civilizations. Such a place on Earth named Florida.
Yes, I believe we modeled a word in our own language after that, where it's land of the gray hair.
I do not have hair that I feel discriminated against now.
I apologize. Land of the dull scales as well.
Captain, did you say land of the gray hair nursing home?
Yes.
That is where Mima is. We must go immediately.
You broke my tracking.
Help!
Taga has dived over his tactical console. Is that the help? It's
Maximum warp.
really fast.
Very well, maximum warp.
Fear not, Mima. I will bring honor to our house.
Yes, we must rescue Taga's honorable Mima.
Oh my lord.
Is the channel still open?
Yes, it's been open the entire time. And you hear on the other end, you hear this old Klingon woman say, "Oh, is that my favorite little boy? My favorite grandson?"
Yes, Mima. I am sorry I have not written more. I will make it up to you by saving your life and bring honor to our house.
You know you give great dishonor to our family by not writing me.
I know. It is my greatest regret.
It's okay. I forgive you. I've prepared a scarf for you. I hope it fits.
Your scarves are the most honorable, Mima. Hemtoga, Tiga, Ginkumpata.
Oh, I agree, honey. I agree. We should shoot the Tholians. And then Bethany gets back on the comms and says, yeah, so if you could be here quickly, that'd be great. Okay, bye. Beep.
Captain, requesting permission for maximum warp.
Yes, maximum warp, and we'll take them by surprise. Engage the cloaking device.
We Gorns do not have mothers or fathers. We are simply born from a clutch without knowing who they were. We scream into battle as we run to the waters.
That sounds very honorable.
That was awesome.
If only I were born, weapon in hand, ready to fight.
Saturday just holds up a claw, and you see like his very sharp claws glinting in the light of the bridge.
Born, yes.
Glorious.
About that time that I'm going to spend some threat to make the complication that at this point, remember how I said that there's that shaking? Well, before it was like a Category 3, Category 4 earthquake. Now you're looking at more like a 7, an 8, or a 9, which if you've never been in one of those before, you can't really ignore it. It is quite literally, like, especially for Cord, because he doesn't have a chair anymore, you're having a very hard, like, you're basically doing the TOS dive or the Voyager dive, where you're being shouted at to, like, you know, move about and shimmy, etc., etc. So
shake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like a saber cat trying to stand up in a car.
And then over the speakers, you hear the following.
Warning. Warp core stabilization. Error. Warp core destabilizing. Estimated time to warp core breach, approximately 2 minutes.
Is 2 minutes enough time to save your Mima?
It'll have to be. Engaging warp.
I mean, that's the thing. So,
Can we?
I'm just gonna look at the cabin.
Captain, labor has soiled himself. Clean up this mess. I will deal with the core.
He's just gonna head to engineering.
all right.
It's that's big. That's bigger than I thought it would be.
It's a whole lot of shit.
And
This
its
is almost-
constitution is watery and light brown. The Targ likely has an intestinal virus.
Yeah, I think we have to leave it there because anything more is TOS.
It's-
As we
it's
cut.
really
as-
like a musky
No,
peepee
stop.
almost.
Stop. I don't want to get mad. All right, as we cut to Saturday, moving into engineering. So Saturday, this is your first time actually in engineering, and a Klingon warp core is kind of almost like a tautology. It is just these big 2 pillars of golden light that are just kind of flashing on and off rapidly. And there's, of course, like ODN and EDN lines coming off of it. But you see the problem immediately. Sitting at the command console for main engineering is that duck that got away.
Ah, that duck. Okay, well,
And it turns to you, and it puts its wings together in front of itself like hands and begins doing that drumming with the fingers, or I guess wings in this point, and it goes, which roughly translates to, "Ah, we meet again, Mr. Chef."
I knew I should have killed you when I had the chance.
Which roughly translates to, "You don't have the stones."
I have boulders.
and he's gonna charge at him. He's
right.
gonna pull out his one hand will have a knife, the other one will have a claw.
Nice. All right, go ahead, and I'm gonna roll for the duck first. So that way we know what the difficulty is. But this will be a daring and a security on your part. You know, let's give the duck some extra threat here. Extra dice with threat here. Holy shit!
Jesus.
Your difficulty is 6. You have to get 6 successes, or the duck wins this exchange.
Okay, so I got 2 focuses I could use for this. I could do precision cutting, or I could do tenderizing the meat.
Both would apply. Yes, both good focuses for this.
Excellent. And as always, especially with me, for the beans.
Oh
bold
God, you're giving me full
security.
threat. Okay, sure.
I have bold security.
All right,
And yes, full threat.
full threat.
And
All right.
so, daring security, you said?
Daring security, you got it. I mean, what can go wrong? Aim before 5 complications. Actually, no. Holy crap. There's your 6. Good job. So, what do you do to the duck? You're going to be able to overpower and defeat the duck. What do you do to it exactly?
I once saw this by the great chef warrior Ramsay.
And I'm gonna break the duck's neck.
Just pick it up and snap. Just done.
For whatever reason, I picture Saturday where you're just like putting the duck in like a rear naked choke and then like just like snapping its neck.
He's on the ground rolling around with it, like he's actually like forcing momentum with it.
Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, we don't hear that music. We actually hear Saturday humming it as he's fighting it.
There you go.
Did
But
you
yeah.
roll the challenge dice?
No, it's a duck. It has 1 HP. It's dead.
I think you should roll the challenge dice just
I think you should roll that anyway, though, because it could be
for
funny.
the memes. For
Yeah.
the memes.
So, I guess for you, it's 6 challenge dice here.
Yeah.
Which, if you're using claws, those have vicious, so that's fun.
And intense.
Ooh, even better.
If he's a
All right, with 6 successes or 6 damage, you don't so much have a duck as you do a pile of gah and duck meat.
I will feast on you later.
He just goes to the warp core console and looks at it for a second.
I don't know what this is.
Nice. Well, there's a big warning klaxon that is in Klingon that's just going across the screen, and if you want to give me a insight engineering difficulty of 3.
Court to bridge, the ship is still shaking a lot and the computer is still making the bad noise.
Could spice and herb application apply as a focus? Because this is a spicy situation.
Yes.
Yeah, I vote for this, yes. I am Captain Cord, and I approve this message.
I would like to second the motion.
Okay, you know what? Okay, I'll let it happen. Go ahead.
Right?
I mean, that's a 3/4 majority vote. You're outvoted, Game Master. Sorry.
Well, that's only one success, so do you want a determination then?
Yes, I will. You know, since I mentioned spice, variety is the spice of life, and I like to live.
Okay. So you want to reroll both die, or?
Yes.
How many successes do we need?
You need 3.
Oh, ooh. Big money, no
Sure.
whammies.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You reroll 2 complications.
Is the ship assisting?
I guess the ship does technically assist if you want to give me a computers and engineering. But even then, the ship has to crit on this, or you're
All right,
just
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And sorry, what plus engineering?
Computers and engineering.
Computers. All right.
Mhm.
Engineering. Yes. All right. Here we go.
Survey says
Nada.
All right. So yeah, Saturday, you weren't kidding. You have no idea what any of this means. You are absolutely in the dark here. However, as the countdown gets lower and lower, and we see 45 seconds left on the screen, a little Klingon emblem, kind of like what I've got around my neck here, pops up in a holographic display above the console, and then like angry little eyes come into being and arms shoot at it and says, "It's the Klingon Badgie." And Klingon Badgie says, "Greetings, honorable warrior. I see you're having a warp core breach. Would you like me to help with that?"
Yes.
Very well. I will need you to grant me access to the command console. You will do that by pressing the red button. You look at the console. They're all red buttons. Gorn are colorblind.
It is all gray to me.
I'm sorry, I don't understand that query. Please press the red button.
I'm just gonna punch the console.
Go ahead and roll me a challenge dice, please.
Mash the keypad with your palm now.
Okay, with a 1, you actually push like 5 buttons at once, and there's a beep, and Klingon Badgie like goes for a moment where it just twitches to the side and says, "I've achieved access to main engineering. I am now shutting down the core." And the klaxons stop, the brightness of the core dims, and you guys drop out of warp.
Did we stop?
You're muted, Wolf.
Yes, Captain.
Bridge to engineering, Master Chef. Why have we stopped?
I don't know.
Well,
But I have killed the duck. Come and get your food.
maybe later. First, we must rescue the Mima.
And the Peepaws.
You broke Shizno again. Good job.
First officer, I've been thinking. Perhaps some of these honored elders would appreciate living their last glorious years aboard an honorable warship.
Once we rescue them, I will put in a work order with Klingon High Command to find them one.
Nice.
That's not what I meant, but one thing at a time. Let's get this ship moving again.
Yes, Captain.
And with that, I think we're going to take a 5 to 10 minute break so that I can stop dying. We'll be back in a little bit, everybody. Stick around. Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to not only a Klingon one-shot, which has gone off the rails so heavily, but also to my 12-hour birthday stream. Hopefully you are all having fun out there, and we haven't killed you with all the bad jokes and puns yet. Or maybe that's the intent, who knows. Anyway, oh, hey, hydrate, there you go. Where we resume our little story is with everybody that is currently on the Keed. You all are in main engineering just looking at the warp core as you try to figure out why it is that you're no longer able to go at warp.
All right, so hear me out. Normally, the warp core has a sort of a swirly, cascadey pattern. Currently, it's gray and inert.
Yes. Good observation, Captain.
We have to find some way to make it swirly and blue again.
I know what to do, Captain. I shall command its respect. And I'm going to bash the console, and I'm going to try to get the warp core started.
Daring engineering difficulty 5.
And I'm going to spend a determination, and I'm going to call upon I will command respect value.
Oh my god, this is amazing. All right, go ahead.
I want to assist him with my advisor talent.
Okay, you're rolling a presence command assist.
Presence command.
Mm-hmm.
Say daring engineering.
Daring engineering, yep.
Oh boy. My engineering's really bad.
Well, I got a success from the captain, and you do have momentum. You could also give me threat.
We're sitting on 3 successes right now.
And I'm gonna and
Oops, didn't you do that?
My assist is going to be,
yes, that's it. Smash it good.
And so engineering, 3d20, and doesn't matter if I have a focus because it's a 1. Here we go.
I'll say if you have a 1, it doesn't matter. But there you go. That's 4 successes. No, hold up. That is 6 successes I can count. So you actually get a momentum back. There you go. So it's going to work. You perform percussive maintenance, and the warp core begins to swirl to life. It begins to glow and swirl, and after about maybe 30 seconds, it is thrumming like a warp core should.
Oh, probably should have looked at this earlier. There was a flashing red button that said, initiate matter-antimatter reaction.
That makes no sense, Captain. It simply needed to be taught a lesson, like all disobedient children.
That is just going to walk up to the first officer.
You know how to hit really good.
Well, I've got to go to the bridge, away from here.
Me as well. It is time for bridge time to do bridge mates.
He's just going to grab him for a second and then lean in and just inhale.
oh yeah, Cord's just running. Cord's like running now at this point.
Okay, gotta go. Bye.
You let him go.
All right.
I think on the walk back, Cord's gonna look at Grilla and be like,
seriously though, lock your door when you sleep.
Gila oi.
I don't know.
Oh, Lord. Well, the good news is that actually when you go to warp again, the shaking's gone. So, positive news there. However, when you arrive at the colony, what you see is confusing. And what I mean by that is You do see a station in orbit. It is of Federation design. But you're also seeing that there's a Tholian ship in orbit that doesn't make any, or it doesn't correspond to any pattern of ship that you know of. Like, even your computers are like, eh. To sort of give a visual description of it best I can is, if you can imagine the back part of a beetle with its wings like halfway open, so it's kind of got those two wings coming off of the back, and you kind of see like a glowing thorax in the middle. It also has what seems to be not quite mandibles, but like 3 extensions forward. That would be similar to a tarantula class, if you know what that looks like. So it's definitely a Tholian design, but it's just sitting there in orbit. It's not shooting at anything. It's not hailing you. It's just there.
I want to open a channel.
Okay.
To the Tholians.
Okay.
Channel open, sir.
Right.
This is Captain Cord of the IKS Keed, Tholian vessel. Why are you orbiting this planet? Do you have Mimas and Peepaws on the surface as well?
Appearing on the view screen is a blue crystal Tholian. And you can tell that this is kind of a leader Tholian, because they're not just, that trapezoidal head and the spider crystal body, but it actually has a collar of crystal that seems to be a part of its body that is kind of extended out from its neck region or its shoulder region. But as it looks at you with those glowing yellow eyes inside the trapezoidal head, it simply replies,
"We do not know what your Mima or Pawpaw is, but we do know there is a very large mess that needs cleaning."
Do you have coordinates for this mess?
We are transmitting them now.
and you do get coordinates.
Honorable First Officer, can you
Yes, Captain.
scan for that mess?
Scanning, Captain.
So chat just gave you momentum, but let's get you some momentum too to play with. Go ahead and give me a reason science. Difficulty of 1, assisted by the ship sensor science.
I have a 7 reason and 1
Nice.
science.
Clearly the person be doing this.
This is gonna be great. I think it is this button. No, I just smashed the console.
Well, as we've seen, smashing it seems to work, so... Alright, so with 0 successes, you are not penetrating the atmosphere with your sensors. You're not getting anything.
Captain, I believe this is Tholian subterfuge. They are trying to distract us from their true purposes of hurting the Mimas and the Peepaws. They even said Peepaw incorrectly as a form of verbal disrespect.
You know, I think you're right. Bring us to tactical alert. Raise shields, arm all weapons, lock onto the Tholian ship.
Yes, Captain!
Red alert klaxons begin sounding. The ship.
So I want to send one more message to the Tholian.
Oh, the channel's been open the entire time. They heard all of that.
we have scanned this planet, and the only mess we've found to clean up is you.
And thematically, First Officer will cut the channel.
Nice.
Well stated, Captain. That shall surely strike fear into their crystals.
I know, right?
Sad, and we return to the bridge.
You know what I find the weirdest thing about Tholians? They almost seem like an afterthought from a maybe more imaginative period, and they don't make any sense. Why would a crystal need eyes? That
doesn't make any sense, Captain. They are obviously dishonorable afterthoughts that should be deleted. Yeah. I want to
So
do
we're technically in Starship Combat, but just tell me what it is you want to do, and I'll translate it
full
properly.
spread maximum yield because
Full spread
I
maximum
just
yield. Okay. All right. We're doing this.
Time to take out the garbage.
We're doing this, apparently. All right. Well, that's a pretty easy one. That's going to be a control and a security on your part, First Officer, and the ship will assist you with a weapons security. The difficulty is going to be a 3, and if you, just so you know, that if you are firing a full spread maximum yield torpedo spread, I have to tell you something that you're not going to like.
I have the talent though, because I think it makes it better for me, or less.
Yeah, so the talent is when you do maximum yield. So you are definitely geared for this. I'd like you to look at your ship sheet for a moment, and I'd like you to look at the type of torpedo you have.
Good God.
Because you don't have photons or quantums, you don't have any of the good stuff. You have spatial torpedoes. Yep.
Okay.
We have literally the weakest weapon.
You have spatial torpedoes.
Okay.
Maybe fire the disruptors instead.
My targ has more offensive farts than our weapon system does.
All right, we'll go with disruptor cannons.
All right, so what I'm going to tell you is, in order to fire disruptors, you got to roll a challenge dice first. If you roll an effect, nope, your disruptors go offline.
This is fine.
So it did the but then it didn't do the and
Is there any way to reroll that?
No! They're offline till Saturday fixes them!
That's fair.
Did
That's life.
we break them?
No, Captain. They are charging. Like to instead then fire the torpedoes.
Okay. So, still difficulty 3, control security, and weapon security from the ship.
I'm gonna give you 1 threat so I can roll 4 dice because I'm spending our 2 momentum that we had.
All right.
And I do have Starship Combat as a focus.
Would apply. That is 6 successes already. Let's see if the ship gets you any more.
Let's see. It's weapons and security, yes?
Yep.
Come on.
All right, so with 6 successes, you get 3 momentum back. And yeah, so with full spread maximum yield, how many challenge dice does it add is the question.
I believe it's 2, but I need to look up the rule. And I
was going to say, I'm trying to find it real quick on my end.
Cool. Anyone in chat know? Help us.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anybody knows the Klingon rule for it, do let us know. Because they did change it a little bit with the Klingon rules. They made it harder to find, too, because I'm trying to find the torpedoes. Where is the torpedoes? Yeah, because they used to be a nice section here in the book where it told us how much the torpedoes do, but that would make too much sense. I mean, why would anybody put it somewhere that made sense?
All right, let's see here. Let's go to Klingon Core.
Yeah, as I say, I'm looking at Klingon Core myself here.
Klingon Warrior.
All right, it looks like... If there's one thing I can say about the Klingon book is it's a nice layout, but it still needs some editing to be a little bit more usable. Because I've gone between like 3 sections and I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Full spread max. Oh, you know what it is? It's still using the regular full spread maximum yield. That's what it's doing.
Which does?
Yeah. So the original one is going to do, here it is, character skilled in setting up torpedo attacks in addition to the normal benefits of a salvo. The attack also gains devastating, and okay, so devastating means it's actually going to potentially do something. So you're rolling let's see. It is a base of 6 challenge dice. You're doing a full spread. It's going to be 9 challenge dice.
Okay. Can I spend momentum to get more, or how does that work?
So it's just like doing damage. You can, after the roll has been made, you can do 1 momentum per 1 damage extra, or you can spend 1 momentum to reroll as many dice as you wish, but you only get to do that one once.
As many dice as I want. I'm gonna roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna reroll 5.
Okay.
There we go.
That's 11.
11. And I'm gonna spend the other 2 threat to make it a 13.
Okay.
Or momentum.
Now, what I would say...
We could also add piercing.
Yeah, I would say you could add piercing, where you could ignore
piercing?
2 resistance. You can add 2 resistance or ignore 2 resistance per momentum spend. So if you want to spend your 2 momentum to ignore 4 resistance,
2 to roll 4 resistance. Yeah, so it all just goes right through. Yeah.
All right. So narratively, as we summarize all of that, you go to push the disruptors. Your disruptors glow green and then go brrr and stop even charging. Then you push the torpedoes button, and literally a bay opens up underneath like the front head of the Vorcha, and a swarm of spatial torpedoes goes flying out. And if we cut to the Tholians bridge for a moment, we see 2 Tholians looking at each other, and they go,
Captain, they have fired spatial torpedoes at us? Say again, spatial torpedoes? Yes, those won't do anything to us. I'm sure it's a mistake. Why would they open fire on their ally? You are correct. Perhaps this is an error.
And then moments later, the spatial torpedo spread slams into their ship with 11 damage, ignoring 4 resistance. Go ahead and roll me 2 system hit, please. Structure and communications. So a giant hole on the back of the thorax opens up, venting hot gases and a few Tholians into space. And then their communications array is also knocked offline. So
Corrected, Captain.
Excellent.
And at this point, the Tholians are going to raise shields, because they didn't raise shields because they were spatial torpedoes. They thought the deflectors could handle them. They're going to raise their shields, and they are going to actually attempt to leave the area. So they're going to limp away. And my question is, do you give chase?
Pursuit course.
Nice.
Yes, Captain.
Nice.
We shall bring down the wounded beast.
All right, so my question is, who's at helm right now?
Yes.
So I think that's going to fall to Saturday. I think Saturday is going to be the one at helm then.
I have a con of 1.
I know, that means you're perfect for this.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. So Saturday, I'd like you to give me a controlling con, difficulty of 2. And the ship will assist you with an engines con. If you do not succeed at this, the Tholians will get away, but if you do succeed, you are able to keep up with the Tholians.
You know what? Because it's Saturday, and it's because it's me. For the beans!
More threat? All right.
And,
No, you can't spice this one.
Well, I'm thinking like precision cutting. I'm cutting through the space as I fly.
My God.
I like it. I'll allow it.
I think
Sure.
let's go for it.
Sure, why not?
I
You have a con of 1. It doesn't matter. That is surprisingly 4 successes. Let's see if the ship gets you any more with engines con, and you're already getting 2 momentum back.
Somebody get okay.
Yes, is one grabbing the ship.
Yes, Captain. That is yours.
All right. Sorry, what are we rolling? We're rolling engines con.
Engines con, yep.
All right.
Crit.
Let's go.
All right, no help from the ship, though. So yeah, Saturday, you sit at the console. You still have no idea what you're doing, and you somehow get the Vorcha class right behind the Tholians as they attempt to leave the system. But at this point, the Tholians have repaired their communications, and you all are getting a hail.
Ah, they must be ready to surrender. Open the channel.
Opening channel, Captain. Boop, boop.
Tholian appears on screen. It's the blue one from before.
We do not understand your aggression, but we chalk it up to being that time of the month for a Klingon.
What are you implying?
It is okay. It is a natural bodily function of your species.
Yes, well, in any case, do you wish to surrender?
Yes?
Very well.
Victory! The honor is ours, Captain!
Power down your engines and wait.
And he'll close the channel.
All right, so they've surrendered.
A glorious victory, Captain. And on your
Right.
first day as captain of this glorious, honorable vessel, you
I
shall
know,
truly
right?
bring honor to your house.
Exactly.
He'll
But
just turn around in his con chair and look at the first officer.
We must celebrate.
And then he points at the first officer.
No,
Soon.
no celebrations yet. For later in the celebration hall, which is in Jeffrey's Tube Alpha Beta Zeta 6.
Very personal, close quarter, Jeffrey Tube.
Yes, the one that exits into space. Right there.
for now, let's table that conversation and hail the starbase. Yes, let's talk to this Bethany.
Let us rescue Mimas and Peepas.
You open a channel, and Bethany appears on the screen, and she is just your average human woman, maybe middle-aged, or towards the beginning of middle age. So kind of got that, not quite a haircut, but it's kind of shoulder length, and it's brunette, and she kind of has a little bit of lines on her face, but kind of just looks at you and says, "Why did you shoot the Tholians?"
We've come to save the Mimas
And the Peepas.
and the Peepas.
What?
I am here to save no one.
Right, but you're here to celebrate with the honorable first officer.
No, I believe the captain deserves the honor of that celebration, as he was in command of the
Oh,
vessel. I
don't
would
be
never deem
modest.
to take your honor.
Don't be modest. You fired the weapons. It's the
But
celebration
it was
will be
your
yours.
glorious command that allowed me to push the button to fire the weapons.
Well,
All
that's
glory
true,
lies
but
with you.
a gracious captain shares the glory. That particular honor will be yours and yours alone.
Bethany kind of raises his hand. Gentlemen, you're here to clean up a mess still, right? You're not just here
Yes.
to shoot it?
We-
Okay.
We cleaned up that Tholian trash.
No, they weren't the trash. The trash is on the planet.
We scanned for trash. There was no trash on the planet.
How could you
Wait,
miss
wait.
it? It's a giant crystal the size of Mount Rushmore.
What's Mount Rushmore?
What's a crystal?
The size of... I don't know, what? And she kind of looks off screen. What? Yeah, what? They're Klingon. What can I make as
So
a...
you humans always assume that we know what you're talking about when you say things like, "Oh, it's time to thread the needle. Oh, it's the size of Mount Rushmore. Two wrongs don't make a right." Stuff like that.
It's,
Stop shooting our allies. What does that even mean?
it's the size of a...
Can you give us the mass in an actual unit of measurement, not some strange hyperbole?
Bathla Kimogak.
Gesundheit.
Can Saturday scan for this?
You can, yes. Of course, it's going to be a reason science, difficulty of 1, but I believe.
I have a
Also,
3
hi,
in
Benno.
science. Because, making delicious food is a science.
It is a science, yes.
It is very much.
Mhm. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? 2 complications? Surely you can't get 2. Surely.
Hey, GM.
Yeah.
It's me.
No, you
Not
can't
for the
pour the
beans.
beans again.
Not for the
I'm
beans.
cutting you
Yeah, I
off.
know.
I'm cutting you off.
No focus.
All right, hey, you get your 1 success. Yeah, so Saturday you are saying that there's a crystalline mass deposit mine, whatever you actually want to call it. There's a lot of crystal on the planet. It's nearby the retirement complex. It's the equivalent of a wind turbine in terms of size, so fairly large, all things considered. But apparently it's casting a shadow on the retirement home, and that's not good because old people like their sun.
Mima has often written me about her lack of vitamin D. We must make sure that this crystal is taken out.
Well,
If you are lacking in that vitamin, I will gladly help you later.
No, not necessary. Thank you. No, I'll just go.
that's
Son,
so ominous.
that is.
I don't know, but he has a way with making the most mundane statements sound so sinister.
Horrific and terrifying. I'm shaken to the core, Captain.
But it's probably just a cultural thing, and really we should be more sensitive.
Yes, and I believe you should take the honor of this sensitivity.
But first,
I can be
I've got-
sensitive.
boy, I'd love to go to the bridge right now if I wasn't already on the bridge. But
It's at this point that
we have
Klingon
work
Badgie
to do.
pops up. Hello, I see that you're having a momentary moment of mental health deficiency. Would you like my assistance?
Computer, delete the badging.
I'm sorry. You cannot delete the Badgie. The Badgie is in control of main engineering.
What?
Yes, your chief science officer has granted me access to main engineering until you disable
I don't have
it.
a chief science officer.
Just looks at Saturday.
He's the chef.
Well, whoever he is, he pushed the button. Until you push it again, I'm in charge of main engineering.
All right, well, go back to main engineering, then. I'll talk to you later.
And thank you.
Then Badgie goes away.
Okay, all right. So we've got to get this crystal out of the way. It's blocking the sun for the retirement home. So, I've got something for this. We've got all the vitamin D that complex needs because we've got vitamin disruptors. Lock weapons on that crystal, and try to be careful. Don't blow up the Mimas.
So all I'm
Yes,
going to say is
Captain.
the disruptors are still offline.
We have the disruptor array, though.
Banks. Yeah, we got the banks instead of the cannons.
Hey, sub with Prime. Let me see. Daniel Dear Ajo. Hopefully I said that mostly right. Thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you. Okay. So
We're fine.
okay, you're good. All right. This could get good. Okay. Since you're specifically targeting UFS targeting systems, that's right. So you can target this. Control security, difficulty of 2. Ship assists with weapons security. And don't roll complication.
I
Can I assist at
have
all?
composure because I don't want to blow up my Mima.
I'll give it
I
to
also
you,
have
sure.
Starship Combat.
I'll give you either. You can use either.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with composure. All right. If I do this right, I will write Mima every month moving forward.
And just think of it, if you do it wrong, you'll never have to write her again.
Well spoken, Captain.
And she will feast with the honored dead in Stovall Core.
That's 2 successes.
I'm tempted to spend threat here to make that funny. I really am.
Do it.
All right.
Do it.
So you hit the crystal, yeah? The crystal is disintegrated underneath your disruptor blasts.
Sorry, Jim, before you narrate this,
Okay.
Maybe we should have scanned that crystal because, it might fragment under the weapon's fire and end up as some sort of hellish rain made out of crystalline razor blades.
And that is exactly what happens, is all the fragments of the crystal go raining down onto the complex, and you see from an aerial view, like these old Klingons with walkers are like trying to get out of the way of this crystalline rain. And you see like a few older Klingons like pull out their tag and start like deflecting them out of the air. It's actually kind of badass, all things considered. But the end result is you basically crystal rain the retirement complex.
Well, they didn't tell us to clean up that mess, only this one.
I will head to main transporter room and begin bringing the Mimas and the Peepaws aboard.
We can use them to crew the ship.
Yes. And we'll have more combined experience than any other ship in the fleet.
We shall
can't
bring
lose.
great honor to all of our houses. And then the first officer is going to run away.
Saturday's going to follow.
Nice. All right. Well, honestly, I think that's just going to happen at this point. I mean, you basically get the most geriatric crew in the Klingon fleet aboard your vessel. The Tholians remain sitting there until you tell them to do something.
Right? Then we just, after we beam up the Mimas, we send them a transmission to go away.
And they do. As soon as you tell them to go away, they warp away to do other things. But no, I think that's where we'll end the one shot, because apparently I have redeems to do, and
You do.
we only have so far we can go with this bit. So.
Yeah.
All right, YouTube, this is where I'm going to end the recording for you, but Twitch people, stick around because we got a whole bunch of stuff to go. But YouTube, bye-bye.